Now, Pittsburgh's best sports show is about to begin. Call us or tweet us. We got things to talk about on the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call.
All right, Ken, thanks very much. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to a Monday night edition of the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call right here on Pittsburgh CW. Bob Pompeani, flanked by Gene Collier. Tonight, we're taking your calls on the Borders and Borders hotline, which is 412-575-2600. You can also tweet the program at KDPomp, at Gene Collier. And tonight, the Columbus Blue Jackets have been eliminated. John Tortorella guaranteed a win in Game 6. His team played with a lot of energy. They were engaged, but just could not get a puck by Tuukka Rask. 3-0 the final. Bruins win in 6, so it's Boston, Carolina in the Eastern Conference Final. Boston has home ice, and there was a controversial call in this game once again. And Gene, I don't know if you saw, but it was Charlie McAvoy of the Bruins who came in and hit Josh Anderson, made head contact first. That was the primary target, it appeared, and yet the referees were a little apprehensive about this, maybe in light of what happened in the Vegas game when they issued a 5-minute major, and it really wasn't. So I don't know if that impacted it or not, but it's the wrong call. It was a 5-minute major, and it didn't call it, and that's a big call in a game like that. Your thoughts about that play?
Yeah, I think that's exactly right, Bob. I think the officials now are gun-shy because of what they did to Las Vegas, they're gun-shy anyway because of replay. I think we saw a very good example over the weekend of why replay should go away and never come back. Because, it's just sucking the life out of these sports. And the NFL is instead going in the opposite direction. The NFL will get to a point where it won't be able to tell you until Tuesday who won the Sunday game. We'll get down to a point where it's a forensic analysis of everything that happens. They'll be looking at footprints and carpet fibers, and it'll be like a CSI episode, only it'll go on for days and days. The
new commissioner of the NFL, Cyril Wecht. Please come to the microphone.
Exactly.
But, hey, the thing about that is this. You're right. The NFL is now going to a different level, and I wonder if the NHL will follow suit based on these outcomes, because they may say, well, the NFL has decided to replay penalties or non-penalties. That's exactly what we've seen here in these playoffs, so I wouldn't be surprised. But you mentioned Saturday. Yeah. Never in the history of the Kentucky Derby, and this is 144 years, have we seen a disqualification of a winner. And we saw that, albeit only after someone registered an objection. The people who watch it didn't see anything apparently wrong with it. And then it took 22 minutes. And, Gene, it just destroyed the whole day, I thought. And you had to drink a lot of mint and juleps after that to get that memory away from yourself.
Yeah, that was just a terrible thing. Now, I don't know enough about racing to second-guess the stewards or certainly the jockeys. But it's very curious that the stewards who are looking at this did not raise any questions. It was only after a couple of jockeys did, and they were not even the jockeys that were necessarily affected. But again, you have this great event, and it's ruined by this kind of thing. I just don't understand this. I don't want people to misunderstand. I am not against the technology involved in replay. I'm all for technology. I'm all for science. I'm all for education. I'm just saying it's misapplied to sports. Sports is not important enough for this. Use it for homeland security. Use it for medical advances. Use it for any number of things, not to determine, whether a ball is fair or foul on May 9th. It's not that important.
No, I think that's a good call by you. And quite frankly, again, we've never seen it in 144 years. And there is some contact because there are 20 horses in this field. You don't normally see a field of 20. No, Gary West, the owner of the horse that got disqualified there, Maximum Security, said, why do they have that money? Because they want more money. Or that many horses, because they want that money. Now, he could have objected if not ran his horse, which he's doing in the Preakness now. But the point is, there's going to be a lot of contact. And if you've noticed also at every one of these Kentucky Derbies, Preakness, Belmont Stakes, whatever, at the beginning of the race, there's all sorts of maneuvering by horses, and they're hitting each other, trying to get into that, along the pole or along the inside track. I mean, it's crazy. And here we go. And so now all of a sudden it becomes an issue. And you're right. Nobody there saw it until someone complained.
No, and I thought it was he that made the good point that it looked to him like something scared Maximum Security from the infield, and that's why he was trying to get away from it and went and kind of veered to his right there. But, Bob, I don't know how much horse racing you watch. I've covered a couple Kentucky Derbies. I don't watch it constantly. But I didn't really see much in that race that I don't think I've seen before.
That's what I mean. There's been contact before, and I saw video evidence of a lot of previous races. They just chose, because they have the technology now, to do something about it.
That's a shame.
And we'll talk more about this, and we're going to get your take on it. 412-575-2600. How do you feel about technology? Has it gone too far? Would you rather go backwards? I know one thing I would like. I'd like to get elimination of that K box in baseball strike zone. I'm tired of it, because if you didn't have it there, I challenge you to watch and try to figure out the call. You'll agree with the umpire on most occasions. But that box makes it totally different. Anyway, we'll take your calls and thoughts on that when we come back. 412-575-2600 right here on the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call, Pittsburgh CW. The Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call is brought to you by Ireland Contracting, celebrating 25 years as Pittsburgh's #1 home exterior expert in roofing, siding, windows, and gutters, where honesty and integrity still matter.